Hi, I'm Mara Hoover, Executive Vice President of Five Rings Financial, and I'm so glad that you made it through the last Anchor Series videos. If you're here today, that means that you're really interested in learning about the different options and different educational pieces that you need to make sure that you can anchor your financial plan. What we're going to cover today is understanding the importance of how inflation is really going to affect your financial future. The younger you are, the more important this is. So let's get started. Okay. It's really important to understand inflation because this is really going to affect your financial future. As I said, the further you are away from retirement, the bigger the issue. So let's look back in time. Let's say if we compare 1973 to 2013, and then we're going to project out to 2053. What we're doing is we're basically taking 40-year increments, and we're looking at the cost of different goods. You might not remember this, but probably, maybe some people do, the fact that when you used to go to the grocery store and buy a loaf of bread, or maybe your mom or your grandma, she could buy a loaf of bread for about 15 cents. Today, the national average for a loaf of bread, believe it or not, is $2.50. Unless, of course, you're shopping at Whole Foods and you're buying gluten-free and sprouted wheat bread and things like that, which is probably closer to what you would actually pay in 2053, which is $16.10. If we want to take a look at the difference between these different years, it takes into effect approximately a 5% inflation rate. So what I'm doing is looking historically at what that inflation rate did in the last 40 years, and then taking that into the future. What's that going to do in the next 40 years? Let's use another example. Let's say a car. I think a car in 1973, I've heard stories that you could actually buy a brand new car for about $5,000. Today, that national average is somewhere around $30,000. So if we project that into the future, that's going to look something like $150,000 to $250,000. And at that point, you're not getting yourself a brand new Ferrari. You're just getting maybe a Nissan or a Toyota, just because of what inflation's going to do. The big question here is, how is that going to affect your retirement? So if we look back to 1973, someone could retire on approximately $25,000 a year. Basically, what they would do is they would take what they had saved and they would add that together with their Social Security, and by putting those two things together, they were able to live pretty comfortably with $25,000 to $30,000. Today, the middle class national income is about $60,000 to $70,000. So if we project that into the future, we're going to be looking at needing approximately $250,000 of retirement income on an annual basis just to make sure we have enough to live comfortably, middle class. I'm not talking about being wealthy here, just paying your bills, paying your mortgage. Again, if you combine this with the last video of talking about what you're going to end up paying in taxes, that's really how you can start to get a grasp on the actual number or the amount of money that you're going to need per year to really have a great retirement. If you're a little bit overwhelmed by this, I totally understand, because it can be a lot to grasp, and really starting to think about needing $250,000 40 years from now just to live middle class can be kind of scary. But as long as you plan properly and you learn the steps that you need, which I've been teaching you in these videos, you're going to be on the right track to really put together a plan that'll help you anchor your financial plan and feel like you're on the right path. You're charting your course towards that gorgeous safe harbor. Again, if you have questions or you'd like to sit down and maybe have a personal consultation, or just give me a call and ask a couple questions, I'm here for you. I'd love to have that conversation, and I look forward to meeting you soon.